Hare Krishna. So today's topic of the lecture was, where does Bhakti lives, or where does Bhakti resides? So it was an interesting task. I was thinking, where does Bhakti resides? Where does Bhakti live? What should I tell about it? And of course, first thing that came to my mind too, that to understand where she lives, we should first understand who she is, this Bhakti. So, because Bhakti usually is translated as devotion, right? Devotion, devotion, right? In Garuda Purana have a wonderful verse that Bhajiti Yeshavai Dhatu, so that the dhatu, this verbal root bhaj, means to serve. Bhajiti Yeshava Dhatu, Sevayam Parikirtita. So it means to serve, seva. So bhaj means seva in word bhakti. So seva means service, right? So how do we, when we love someone, when we are devoted to someone, how do we show our devotion and love? By the service, right? We can speak so many beautiful words, but if we doesn't, confirm our love with action, then probably this love is just a poetry, and probably that's it. So and therefore, once one very wise person told to my Guru Maharaj, he said once, you know, in the West, first you get in love with each other, and then you get married, and therefore your marriage system is not so strong. And he said, but we first get married, and then we get in love to each other. I can confirm it by my marriage life. It is like that. First you get married, and then you get in love. Then the marriage is right. So the same thing is here. If you want to love Krishna, you need to learn to serve. If you want to love God, you need to learn to serve God, right? Because if you want to, the same in marriage, right? If you want to learn to love someone, you should know what does this person likes, what this person don't like, do's and don'ts, right? How you live together, how to please this person. And more you live together, more you understand that in details. Same with God. If you want to learn to love God, you need to know what He likes, what He doesn't like, what kind of person should I become to be able to please God, to associate with God. Because we cannot take it cheaply, right? We cannot just say, okay, God, here am I with all my crazy habits and things like that. You just accept me as I am. He will definitely accept you as you are, but but He will keep the right distance. So if you want to make distance closer, right, you need to understand. You need to become more pure, because He's the most pure. He's the most sweet. He's the most rich and most amazing person. And if you want to, if you go to the presidents of big company, you know that I need to dress accordingly. I need to speak accordingly. And I cannot come to this person and say, okay, you give me what I want, right? That would be not polite. So first you need to offer, what can I give to you, actually? So the same thing is here. But the difference is that Krishna is original boss. Original. So oftentimes people think that bhakti is like emotions. Before there was this funny application on mobile phone where there was like a group calls. People were like doing some groups, like yoga group, and they were making call, and everyone was speaking in this group. So I downloaded this application, and there was some yoga group, and I entered the yoga group. And the one who was the leader of the group, he was kind of giving class, and then he said, "Oh, yoga consists of many different kinds of paths." He said, "Bhakti if you want to be emotional, jnana if you want to be knowledgeable," and like that. And I was like, and I entered the chat and I said, "I can ask the question." I said, "But what if I, what if I have everything in me, right? I have emotions as a person, and also I'm curious, so I would really like to know about things. So, and sometimes I also need some austerities. So what kind of path should I follow? What should I do? Because all these things are in me, right? I cannot be like just one-sided, just emotional person." And they said, "Oh, you need to follow the path of Gyan. You need to read Bhagavad Gita." I said to them, "Thank you very much. I will do that." So, no, it's not one-sided thing. Bhakti is not one-sided. Bhakti consists everything in it. Not only, because actually according to the yoga and actually Vedic philosophy, to be very emotionally means to be mentally unstable. So if you're just a very emotional person, it means you are mentally unstable. So what does it mean? If we follow Bhakti, we teach people how to be mentally unstable, or what? Of course not. Of course not. And therefore, to understand what is Bhakti, I would like to speak about this wonderful verse. It's here. Can you make it bigger? Bigger. Does everyone can see that verse? Okay. Good. So I will chant and you please repeat. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyana-vritam anukulyena Krishna no shilanam bhakti-uttamā anya bilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyana-vritam anukulyena Krishna no shilanam bhakti-uttamā anya bilashita shunyam jnana karma dhyana-vritam anukulyena Krishna no shilanam bhakti-uttamā. So, uttamā, as you see, bhakti-uttamā, this is definition of pure bhakti. Uttamā means, tama means darkness, and uttamā means something beyond. So, bhakti is beyond darkness, or devotion is beyond material darkness. So we need to understand, first category is that something that we call devotion to the Lord have nothing in common with material world, right? So uttamā means also best, and what in this context means that is not mixed with material, with matter. So it's completely pure. So pure bhakti. We call uttamā bhakti, we call pure bhakti. So in what sense it's pure? So we will speak about first two lines. So first two lines of this verse is actually, just leave the verse on the screen and it will be good. So first two lines describe what bhakti is not, or basically something that we should avoid. So anya abhilashita shunyam. So abhilash means desire. Anya abhilash means material desire. So basically, our Acharyas is translating it that it's avoid of every desire except of rendering service to Krishna, right? Because what is deciding factor in our life? Some factor that is set trajectory in our life, that influence decisions what we will make. What do you think? Christopher, what do you think? What makes you make decisions? Desire, yes. What do I want, right? Or motivation. Something should motivate us, right? And when we speak about bhakti, motivation is what? Please speak louder. Krishna's happiness, right? And it's funny that Krishna's happiness, and not only Krishna's happiness, it's something that will be good for Krishna, right? Because when Mother Yashoda is chasing Krishna with her stick, Krishna is not very happy. She knows that it will be very good. But at the same time, when Chinura and Mushtika try to wrestle Krishna and kill Krishna, Krishna is very happy because he getting good fight. These two things, we think about what will be pleasing to Krishna and what will be actually good for him. So Chaitanya Charitamrita say, Atmendriya priti vancha tare bali kāma, Krishna indriya priti ichat dhare prema nama. So it's very easy. So to desire to please our senses, atmendriya, priti icha, it calls kāma, right? It calls lust. Right? And Krishna indriya priti icha, indriyas, when I want to please the indriyas or senses of Krishna, when I want to please my senses, this is kāma, this is lust. When I want to please senses of Krishna, this is prema, this is love. So this is very simple verse that is describing to us that if we want to speak about devotion, we want to please senses of Krishna. Because we cannot stand on both boats at the same time, right? How does it call when we stand on both boats? It calls hypocrisy, right? And this is actually a very disgusting thing. Dear friends, you're afraid of me or what? Please come closer. You're sitting almost near to the entrance. Is that you would anytime would be able to go out or what? Please come closer. You see, it's empty here. Yeah. Why should speak there if I can speak like here to you? Please come closer. And there'll be more people to come, so don't be afraid. Yeah. Yeah, even Jesus said, you cannot please two masters, right? You cannot please God and mammon, right? You cannot please two masters at the same time. Because oftentimes, what we think about devotion, we think, okay, if I surrender to Lord, then I need to take sannyas, right? I need to wear shuffling clothes and go to the forest and never come back. This will please the Lord. It is not like that. Actually, again, if we speak about it's in our motivation, it's in our desire. It's basically my day-to-day activity can become activity for pleasing Krishna, or can become activity of devotion. It depends on two factors: my desire to please Krishna and the actual, what devotees often do. Before starting to do any service or any kind of activity, they have sankalpa. Sankalpa means that I tune myself. Dear Lord, when we enter Pujari room, for example, we say, Naham vipro na chanarapati na pivaishu na shudra. I'm not Vaishya, I'm not Shudra, I'm not Grihasta, not Vanaprastha, not Sannyasi. I'm not all these material coverings. Actually, I'm a pure soul. Gopi partu padakama, your dāsa, dāsa, na dāsa, and I'm your servant. So I will do this thing right now. I go for work, I do the lunch, I do any other activity. That's what gopis do in Vrindavan. What they say, I'm your servant, Lord. Please accept me, accept this activity, and let me do this activity in devotional mood. So there is this prayer, sankalpa, before starting the service, right? And then there is when I add my service, I have karma samarpana. I offer my activities to the Lord. What do? When I cooked something, I have some small altar at home I bring to Krishna. Please, you eat first, right? I finish my work, I come from work, I come in front of the altar and say, Dear Lord, I did this activity, please accept it. Because you are here in the center of my house. You are the real owner of my house. And everything around you, it's already my making money, it's already service to you. Because I feed you every day. Right? So we have the money, we donate it. We have our wife, our family, we sit down, we try to read scriptures together. We try to have some kirtan. We go to the temple together. I appreciate so much when you, dear friends, come with your families and try to come with your children and everyone. Why? Because that's how we spiritualize. So this is our offering our activities. So devotion doesn't mean I will go to the forest. Devotion is here and now. Hare Krishna. So devotion is not I go to Vrindavan, I go to Mayapur, I go to some holy dham, and there I will be devoted. Devotion doesn't mean I come in front of the altar and then I'm devoted. Devoted is I'm here and now. There is the question, am I devoted or not? Because otherwise, it's just duplicity. Oftentimes we come in front of the Lord and give Him some money and think, okay, now I gave you something, you don't touch me anymore. Right? I'm coming from Catholic and Orthodox tradition. Half of my family Catholic, half is Orthodox. And I remember coming with my grandmother's Orthodox church or Catholic church, you put candles there. Then you stand there, you put candle and say, Dear God, give me something, give me bread. And I was thinking, is it like a Santa Claus thing? You go there and ask for some benefits, you go for some gifts from the Lord. Is it like that? So when we duplicate like that, when we are duplicate like that, we actually, in the end, we forget the purpose. Why do we need all these things? Why do we need all these churches? Why do we need all these, buildings, deities, and this Harinam and everything else? Why do we need all this? And eventually, if we are staying in this position, duplicate position, we start to destroy everything. You see what Christianity went through, right? First, it was a nice religion. Then after some point, when the purpose was forgotten, what do? We go and kill people in the name of God. So many people were killed, right? Or, I'm sorry, please, I apologize, but I just share my experience. Oftentimes you go to India, you come and they say to you, this is Yamuna, our most holy river. Most holy river. Most holy river. Krishna he likes Yamuna a lot. But you cannot bathe in it. Because in Delhi, and also from Vrindavan, all sewage water goes to Yamuna. And if you bathe it, you probably get sick. And this is holy cow. We are cow is worshipable. And then you see cows are just dying on the street. I have my good friend of my family who is taking care, she takes cows from the streets in Vrindavan. So many horror stories, right? So this is duplicity. We say this is the most holy, this is the most worshipable. And then we are the biggest exporter of the beef in Asia, somehow. This is duplicity. And in our life, there is also this duplicity, right? Because we are playing in two teams, right? We are standing with one leg on one boat and another leg on different boat. And I'm like, okay, now I will satisfy my senses, and then I will come in front of Krishna, I will be nice and pure and beautiful. And then with one foot, I'm on material board that is just going 100 miles per hour from Niagara waterfall, just falling down to crash eventually, and then with another leg on the other boat. That doesn't work like that. This is not devotion. Devotion is something that's here and now in my life. Devotion is, as we saw, is our motivation and our desire. So that's what we need to work on. our motivations and our desires, to not to be duplicit like that. Because this duplicity eventually destroys everything around us, and by being duplicit like that, we forget the purpose of it, and it just becomes farce. We are just changing the cover of the candy, right? But or maybe not the candy. We're just changing the cover, but inside it stays the same. So we shouldn't be like that. But luckily for us, bhakti is the process of purifying our desires. Bhakti is the process. I don't ask you, dear friends, to change like that in a moment right now. No. What I'm asking you, that let us all together take up the process of changing our heart and changing our motivations towards pure motivations, because it will be good for everyone. It's like watering the root of the plant. When we are watering the root of the plant, all the leaves and branches, they flourish. If we will have right motivations, then we will have a lot of common sense in dealing with outer world, right? And we will want to, if we have service mood towards the Lord, eventually we will have service mood towards His Bhumi Devi, His planet, the environment, the people around it, and we will treat them as servants of God. Yeah. I'm sorry if I offended someone. Hare Krishna, please forgive me. Next word is jnana karma dhyanavritam. So jnana dhyanavritam. So what is bhakti? Bhakti is void of all jnana. What does it mean? But what is bad in knowledge? Look how many books Srila Prabhupada wrote. and why we should be free from knowledge. So, and our acharyas explain. So there is different types of jnana. So first one is tattvadata jnana, the knowledge about the God. So God is eternal. He have all the 6 possessions. He's Bhagavan. He's the most beautiful, most sweet, that He's a person. He's all pervading. He's a super soul. He's the source of all impersonal Brahman, and all the knowledge about the God Himself, right? So Sambandha. And then that Tvampadata Gyan is basically Gyan that is about me, knowledge about me. Who am I? Right? So we need this knowledge. This I'm not this body, I'm not God, I'm spiritual, I'm eternal, I'm by my nature is a servant of Krishna, right? So this kind of Gyan is very nice. This kind of Gyan is very good. And then Brahma Jiva Aikya Gyan. So this Gyan means that I'm God, I'm not different from God, God and me is the same, and all kind of nonsense like that impersonal. I am not the person by my nature, and so on and so forth. All this Advaita Vedanta philosophy, which is basically just a speculation. So, and there's even many people who sing kirtan. They sing very nice kirtan, and they preach about bhakti, but their goal is mukti. So I'm preaching about bhakti, that yeah, we should be devoted. There's one very popular kirtan singer, Krishna Das. I remember Sachinand Maharaj, he spoke to him and said, so what do you think about Krishna? You're singing Hare Krishna Kirtan, very popular. He said, for me, he's just a blue God. I don't know anything about him. My guru just told me to sing. I'm singing, that's it. So this is the difference between devotees and not devotees of God. And I've been actually in many kirtans like this. I was invited because I can sing some kirtans, I can play mridanga. And you come to these gatherings and you can feel so much difference between being in the temple and singing kirtan, because there is purity in the motive of the devotees. And then you come for these yoga things, and then you feel that everyone is just, just trying to use the name for their own sense gratification, let's say like that. And there is no devotional mood which we speak about devotion in this context, right? So I'm just, again, I'm not blaming, I'm just sharing my experience. My experience was, I don't want to come anymore because I can feel this mood and doesn't feel nice. So, and that's what jnana is. So jnana is basically philosophical speculation, right? That I'm one with God. But I'm not one, because nitya nityanam chetanas chetananam. God is the original from all nityas. We are all nityas, we're all eternal, right? This is the right thing, we're all eternal. Chetanas chetananam, He's the original consciousness, right? We all of us, we have chitta, and He's the original chitta. Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Amongst it, there is no one who supplies the needed to everyone else, right? Va vidadhati kaman, eko bahunam. So from the all people, we have all different kind of desires, and He's the one who is the supplier for you of all desires, right? So why not to give Him back a little bit, right? Because He's anyway supplying it. And when we are thinking, okay, I'm the source of it, I'm the supplier, I'm the proprietor. Who you are, please, please, dear friend. And if everyone is one, no one is different, then okay, then give me your wallet. Then. It's me. I remember I was in Sankirtan distributing books when I was monk. So there was one person who said, "Oh, I'm God, and you are God, and we are one." And I said, "Okay, if we are one, there is no difference between us." He said, "No, there is no difference between us." I said, "Okay, then everything what is yours is mine." And he said, "Technically, yes." And I said, "Okay, give me your wallet then." He said, "No, I don't." So I said, that's where your philosophy doesn't work anymore, right? If there is no difference, then what's the problem? So, and also, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So he said, Mama Iva Amsho, all Jiva Loke. So all Jivas, all the souls, they are my part and parcel. That's what Krishna says. We're not the one. So Jnana Anavrita means basically that bhakti should be uncovered from philosophical speculation. Shouldn't be touched by philosophical speculation. Let us not speculate philosophically. Because if you are one with God, how you can have bhakti? How you can have devotion? You cannot have devotion to yourself, right? How you can be devoted to yourself? There is no love between me and myself. There is self-respect, there is all kinds of good things, but I cannot love myself as I love some different person, right? This is some strange thing. No, this is impersonalism. So next one is karma dhyanamrita, rewards. So karma is reward-seeking activity. I do this for you, and please give me back. Give me something back. So this is not love also, right? Bhakti should be jnana, karma, dhyanamritam. It should be free from this desire from karma. Why? Because karma will come to you anyway, don't worry about it. And if you will be involved in regulated devotional service, then karma yoga is involved. You will get all good karma. Don't worry about that. Worry about pleasing Krishna. Don't do this business relationship with God. There is a funny story that Indian man, he wanted to win 1 million in lottery. So he went to the temple and he said, "Dear Krishna, I want to win this 1 million. Please, if you will give me 1 million, I will give you half. I will donate half to the temple." So eventually he took second place. So he got 500,000. So he came to temple and said, "Dear Lord, why don't you trust me? If I would get 1 million, I would give you half, but you already took your half yourself. So you don't allow me to give you myself. So sorry." Or there's this anecdote also that on parking lot, person is searching for the parking place, and searching for so long, half an hour, almost 1 hour, driving around, cannot find the parking place. Then he started to pray very, very actively, like, dear God, please give me the parking space, this parking space, then I will surrender to you. Oh, no, wait a minute, no need anymore, there is one free. Like that. So this is how we act, oftentimes. We want to be these karmis, And also, the next word is adi anavritam, right? So adi means etc., basically. Etc. means that all the yoga, mystic siddhis and things like that, all the mystic powers that we want to get. So we come to second two lines. Эко-чакра, ты знаешь, что лекция час идет? Что без 15 откроем? Супер. So, second two lines. So, Anushilanam. Anushilanam, shil means cultivation, right? So, what is devotion? As I said, good news. Devotion is Anushilanam. Devotion is continuous cultivation of activities performed through endeavors of the body, mind, speech, and through the expression of various spiritual sentiments. One more time, what is devotion? Uttamā bhakti. Devotion is continuous cultivation of activities performed through endeavors, right? Do my endeavor again and again, of body, mind, and speech, and through expression of various emotions, sentiments, bhavas. And these emotions shouldn't be covered by jnana, means knowledge aimed by impersonal liberation, shouldn't be covered by karma, reward-seeking activity, and which, devoid of all desires, other is to please the Lord. So this is the meaning of this verse that we are reading right now, right? And means that our activities is meant to exclusively please Sri Krishna, bring him pleasure. It calls uttamā bhakti, pure devotional service. So, the topic of our lecture was, where does bhakti reside? So from the things that you heard right now, what do you think, where does bhakti reside? What means in the heart? What do you mean by heart? In the organ? Yes. Yeah, this is natural position of the soul, that's for sure. Yes. But from the things that you heard right now, from what is bhakti? Yes. Desires means motivation, right? Bhakti, let's say like that. Bhakti resides, she have home. And there's many doors to this home, right? So one of the doors is motivation. Yes, please. Yeah, take it with you wherever it goes. So again, it's also we can connect it to the motivation, right? So motivation should be right here and right now. Devotion is right here and right now. It's not somewhere else. So I would say it's a purity, right? Bhakti is in the purity. Not only just motivation, the pure motive. So what else? Action. Bhakti resides in service, in action. Very good. Thank you. What else? Sacrifice. Yes. Yes, very nice. Yagya. What else? Jai. So in performance of direct activities for pleasing Krishna. Right? So, what else? Chanting, yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's continue. Word shilanam, right? Means actually to please Krishna. So shilanam have two aspects to it. Shilanam have cheshta rupa, which we call activities, as we said, right? Bhakti resides in activities. And bhava rupa, sentiments. There is always, right? We can do things practically, but there will be no motive put it into it, like in this activity, right? So there will be wrong sentiment, right? We can wash pots in the temple and think, I hate these people, why they made me do this thing, right? Or we can wash pots and like be ecstatic and pray for Sankirtan and like that, right? Or yeah. So first we start with Cheshtarupa, with activities. And Cheshtarupa activities, the first and foremost means sadhana. Because what means sadhana? It means activity meant to achieve sadhya, the goal. So practice, sadhana rupa. So practice is described in this verse. Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavasa sadhana bida nitya sidasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyata. When transcendental devotional service by which love for Krishna is attained is executed by senses is called sadhana bhakti, or the regulative discharge of devotional service. Such devotion exists within the hearts of every living entity. The awakening of this eternal devotion is potentially of devotional service in practice. It's potentiality of devotional service in practice. So sadhana is these activities with our mind and senses that we are doing to invoke our devotion, because devotion is already there in us. So it's instigated from the platform of senses. So and then the sadhana we divide in two parts. So it's pravriti, the favorable actions, and nivriti, something that is unfavorable. So we accept everything that is favorable for our devotional service and reject everything that is unfavorable. So what is favorable for our devotional service? Please tell me. Association, sadhu sangha. Asad sangha tyaga. Yes, avoiding non-devotees. What else? Yeah, speaking about Krishna. What else is favorable for our devotional service? Please tell. Don't be shy. Sense control, yes. So what do we do to control senses? Tapasya. Yeah, that's true. What kind of tapasya do we do? Yeah, for which is what? Intoxication. Good. Yeah, so what do? We wake up in the morning, we bathe, then we chant our japa. Right? Tapasya, it is tapasya. Right? To wake up in the morning, big tapasya. And biggest tapasya is to go to sleep early. Even bigger tapasya than to wake up. Yes? What? Staying in nature. Also good, yeah. Mode of goodness. Mode of goodness. It's good for our devotional service. Right? Yeah, working without desire for fruited results. So this is all very, 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 very nice. Attending temple, good for our devotional service. Good. Coming for festivals, soon Janmashtami is coming. Good for us. Very good. This is actually prescribed by the Shastra. Come for attending the festivals. Studying scriptures, good for us. Nobody tell me. Nobody studies scriptures. Prakash is studying. He's smiling. He likes it very much. Okay. So, and then nivriti, things that we should avoid. And I will just chant shloka for you. Atyaharas prayasascha prajalponiya magraha gyana sangascha laulyam cha shadbir bhaktir vinashati. So first, 6 activities that we need to avoid. First one, atyahara, eating more than necessary or collecting more funds that is required. Right? Oftentimes, yeah, why? Because we become lusty by eating a lot. Basically, it means greed. When we overeat, we just stuff ourselves. It is the sign of greed. I'm just greedy. I cannot satisfy my senses like that. Prayas, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. Right? Oftentimes we have this thing. We try, sometimes you try to do some endeavor, and very easily you get result. And sometimes it's just your karma doesn't allow you. You put so much endeavor in one thing, and Krishna just doesn't give it to you. So if you over endeavor, it's very negative for your life and devotional life. So let it go, and have some good sadhana. Prajalpa, talking unnecessary about mundane subject matters. Niyama agraha, practicing scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. So it's niyama agraha. Or if you put it together, niyamagraha, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures, working independently or whimsically. So there's two extremes, right? First extreme is when you follow too much and then you just go around and chastise everyone. You don't know how to do it properly. Maybe I also don't know myself, but I know you need to do it, but just do it, And let's say, Nike, just do it. That's the same thing. Niyamagraha, just do it. It means that you just do it for sake of doing it. You just even forget about why do I do it? Just I need to follow rules. People who are completely into following rules and only rules. Doesn't matter for relationships with people, just rules. And second one is completely forgetting all the rules. It's okay. No problem. I'm devotee without it. Jnana Sangha, association with worldly minded people, and then Lauliam, being greedy for mundane achievements. Of course, as always, I didn't manage to finish my lecture at the proper time and finish it, but probably we will finish it next time. I'm sorry for that. I have many more things to say. Probably you're already tired from me speaking, so let's just sing Kirtan. Shishi Gauranitai ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande.